The diamond is heating up, and the National League Central is turning into a total chaotic thriller. We are seeing a wild statistical paradox between the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs that simply does not add up on paper. While the Reds are sitting comfortably in first place and the Cubs are buried at the bottom, the run differentials tell a completely different story. It is a mystery of early season baseball that you have to see to believe.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 milliamp hour power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Speaking of major breakout performances, all eyes are on Jordan Walker and his incredible resurgence with the St. Louis Cardinals. After years of struggling at the plate, he has transformed into a legitimate power threat that is fueling an unexpected charge for the organization. His revamped approach and massive home run numbers are turning heads across the league and signaling a massive shift for the future of St. Louis baseball. The statistical divide in the division remains the talk of the town as the Cincinnati Reds and Chicago Cubs find themselves in polar opposite standing spots compared to what their actual performance metrics suggest. It is a deep dive into why winning close games and luck factors are keeping the Reds on top, while the high-performing Cubs fight to climb out of the basement. The numbers are confusing, but the drama is real. Finally, we have to talk about the cardiac Reds, who just pulled off an absolutely stunning sweep against the Minnesota Twins. Thanks to late-game heroics from T.J. Friedl and Raceh Hines, Cincinnati proved once again that they are never out of a fight even in the final innings. Catch all the action and stay updated by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel with the bell turned on so you never miss a play. Ever look at the standings and feel like you're watching a glitch in the simulation? That is exactly what's happening in the National League Central right now. If you glance at the scoreboard, you'll see the Cincinnati Reds sitting pretty at the top, while the Chicago Cubs are languishing in last place. But here is the kicker. If you actually look at the underlying stats, those positions make absolutely zero sense. Currently, the Reds possess the absolute worst run differential in the entire division, while the Cubs, they're rocking the best. It feels like a paradox, doesn't it? Now, before you start calling the league office, we have to keep things in perspective. The season is still young, and the division is incredibly crowded. In fact, every single team in the NL Central is currently above .500. The Reds deserve credit for winning the tight games that actually matter, which is a skill in its own right. Meanwhile, a run differential can be a bit of a statistical mirage. It often inflates when a team blows out an opponent's mop-up pitching or shrinks when their own bullpen struggles in games they're already losing. The Cubs haven't been cursed, they've just been part of an incredibly competitive dogfight. Could we see a total reversal in the standings once the dust settles? It's entirely possible. Baseball is a game of quirks, and this early season anomaly is just one of those wild stories that keeps us glued to the diamond. Do you think the stats will eventually stabilize, or is the Reds' momentum for real? Let me know your take in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the weird world of baseball. Remember, in this game, the box score might tell you the result, but the numbers tell you the story. What if I told you the missing piece to the St. Louis Cardinals championship puzzle wasn't a blockbuster trade, but an internal breakout we've been waiting years to see? Forget the low expectations. The Cardinals are turning heads with a 12-8 start, and the heartbeat of this offense is finally, officially, Jordan Walker. For a long time, the conversation around Walker was all about potential. We knew the raw power was there, but it was buried under a pile of ground balls. But something shifted in the hitting lab this spring. By tweaking his stance and finding a launch angle that actually elevates the ball, he's gone from a prospect with questions to a legitimate home run machine. With 8 homers already, he's breathing down the neck of superstars like Yordan Alvarez for the MLB lead. And frankly, this couldn't have come at a better time. With Wilson Contreras gone, the middle of that lineup looked like a wasteland of power. Yet here is Walker, single-handedly keeping them relevant in a tight NL Central race. It is not just about the stats, it's about the identity of this team. If Walker can sustain this surge, the Cardinals stop being a rebuilding project and start becoming a legitimate postseason threat. Suddenly, Busch Stadium feels like it has a reason to buzz again, and fans might just start showing up in droves to watch a new star truly ascend. But the million-dollar question remains: is this the new normal for Walker, or just a hot streak? If he keeps this pace, 2026 isn't just a building year, it's the year everything changes. If you're a Cards fan, you finally have permission to get excited again. Hit that subscribe button to keep track of this meteoric rise, and let me know in the comments. Is Jordan Walker a lock for the All-Star game this year? Sometimes, the most important players aren't the ones you sign, they are the ones you finally help unlock. Ever look at the MLB standings and feel like your eyes are playing tricks on you? Well, if you check out the NL Central right now, your gut feeling might be right. We've got a real head-scratcher on our hands. The Cincinnati Reds are sitting pretty in first place, while the Chicago Cubs are buried in the cellar. But here is the kicker: the numbers tell a completely different story. Statistically speaking, the Reds have the worst run differential in the division, while the Cubs boast the absolute best. How is that even possible? It sounds like a glitch in the simulation, right? Now, to be fair, the Cubs aren't exactly victims of some cosmic curse. They have a winning record, but the NL Central is so incredibly tight that everyone is hovering above .500. It is a logjam where every game feels like a playoff battle. The Reds deserve credit for winning the nail-biters, which is a skill in its own right, but run differential is usually a much better indicator of a team's true talent level. Sometimes, a lopsided differential happens because of how a team manages their bullpen in blowout games. If you let your bottom-tier relievers get shelled while you are already losing, your numbers tank. Conversely, if you keep piling on runs when the game is already in the bag, your stats look like those of a juggernaut. So, should we expect a massive correction? Probably. These early season quirks usually settle as the sample size grows, but for now, it is a fascinating case study in why the standings don't always tell the whole truth. It is the beauty of the long haul of baseball. The stats have a way of balancing out in the end. Do you think the Reds can keep this magic alive, or is a major collapse coming? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the weird world of baseball. After all, the scoreboard might lie, but the numbers never do. If you think the Cincinnati Reds are going to fold under pressure, you haven't been paying attention. They are officially the cockroaches of the National League. You simply can't kill them. Following their gritty sweep of the Twins in Minneapolis, it is clear that the resilience we saw in September of 2025 is alive and well in this 2026 campaign. Sunday's 7-4 victory wasn't just a win. It was a statement that this team refuses to go home until the job is done. The script felt all too familiar early on, with the Reds trailing 3-1 deep into the game. But this squad thrives in chaos. In the ninth, they flipped the script with 3 runs, capped off by a massive bases-clearing double from T.J. Friedl. After Emilio Pagan hit a snag in the bottom of the frame, did the Reds panic? Absolutely not. They stormed back in the 10th with 3 more runs, highlighted by a clutch 2-run double from Hines to put the game out of reach. What is truly impressive here is the maturity of their approach. They forced the Twins to burn through their bullpen, grinding out quality at-bats that eventually broke the opposition. Even on the mound, Brady Singer showed serious grit, delivering a gutsy 6-inning performance that kept the game within striking distance. And how about the finish? Graham Ashcraft slamming the door shut with an ABS-reviewed strikeout to seal the deal. It is that kind of attention to detail that keeps a team in first place. Sitting at 14-8, the Reds are doing exactly what you want in April. Stacking wins while the rest of the NL Central remains locked in a dogfight. They head to Tampa Bay next, and with Rhett Loader, Chase Burns, and Brandon Williamson lined up, this momentum is looking sustainable. The road ahead is tough, but the Reds have proven they aren't just surviving, they are thriving in the face of adversity. Do you think the Reds have what it takes to hold off the rest of the pack in the Central, or is this just an early season heater? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and join us as we track the best story in baseball. Remember, it ain't over till it's over, and for this Cincinnati team, the grind is just getting started.